Hello viewers, this is Dr.K.S.Neharkar, Assistant Professor Sri Shivaji Law College, Parvani, Maharashtra. I welcome you in my channel at lecture series on labor laws first. I welcome to third part of process of domestic inquiry. As we know, already we have discussed some stages like preliminary inquiry, charge sheet, explanation, ex-parte inquiry, etc. And now we are continuing in this video. See, this next stage of domestic inquiry is the rules for conduct of inquiry. It is process or the inquiry that must be conducted according to principles of natural justice. While discussing the principles of domestic inquiry, we have studied what is the concept of natural justice and what are the essentials of natural justice. So, it is a quasi-judicial proceeding. Domestic inquiry is a quasi-judicial proceeding, and therefore the strict rules of procedural laws like evidence, CRPC, CPC, etc. these are not necessary or these are not applicable to the domestic inquiry. Therefore, the use of principles of natural justice is necessary for delivery of justice. Therefore, the principles of natural justice must be used to conduct the domestic inquiry of workmen. Then next stage is the appearance of parties. In in process of domestic inquiry, both parties are going to appear before the inquiry officer. The employer or his representative may try to establish the facts which constitute the misconduct. Similarly, the worker is going to submit all the evidences and contentions to disprove the charges made against him. Therefore, firstly, inquiry officer shall call the workman and read out charges against him. When the proceeding actually commences, this happens, the inquiry officer calls workman and reads the charges against him, and then that workman is asked about whether he admits the charges or not. The inquiry officer shall ask the workman, explain the charges against him, and he asks him whether he admits the charges or not. Then, if workman admits the charges, then there is no need of further inquiry. The inquiry officer may submit his report by consideration of what the explanation that is submitted by workman. But if the workman rejects the charges, then the both parties shall appear before the inquiry officer. Firstly, the employer shall produce evidences. He shall submit his contentions to constitute or to establish how the misconduct is committed. Then the workman is asked to submit his evidences. This is the stage. Then next stage is the recording of evidences. When both parties appears before the inquiry officers, the parties submit the witnesses and evidences in their support. So all the evidences and statements made by the parties must be recorded in presence of both parties, and specifically in presence of workman, by which workman can get to know what are the documents, what are the evidences which are submitted by employer to establish his misconduct. And non-observation of this rule will violate the rule of natural justice. Then next stage is the cross-examination. As you know, the cross-examination is the process by which the credibility of witness can be checked, or it is used to expose the falsehoodness of statements and evidences. Therefore, this opportunity should be given to workmen also. This is also important rule of natural justice. The cross-examination is the right to ask the questions to witness produced by the opponent. The This opportunity is necessary to expose the falsehood of witnesses. This principle of natural justice states that party must be given an opportunity to cross-examine the witnesses of opposite party. Then it is basic duty of inquiry officer to ask the workman whether he wants to cross-examine the witnesses or not. So friends, so these are the steps that must be followed by inquiry officer while conducting the domestic inquiry. So please join me in a last part of process of domestic inquiry. If you like this video, please like this, and if you like my channel, please subscribe. So thank you friends.